Hey, just wanted to post a video and do a bit of an update, and just it's been a while since I've been up to doing one of these again. I just want to start off with some difficult news I received recently. I had put myself for a referral, a psychiatrist referral, and that was rejected. It was done through the GP, where I had to have a letter written by my counsellor to even be able to be approved to just get a referral in the first place. And that was the result of it as well. And initially I was upset in getting that, because to me it seems clear that my health is in a really difficult way, and there's quite a lot of symptoms I'm observing within myself, and also in regards to like the actions that are happening or not happening in regards to kind of taking care of myself, that also itself kind of shows this, how bad things can be. And I think what's happened is that with the initial referral, there was an attempt to try and be helpful, to research my symptoms and to sort of make a suggestion of certain diagnosis of PTSD and autism, and this was written in agreement with my counsellor, of her observing the symptoms within me during our sessions, and what was shared during our sessions. It was agreed to that it looks to be that this is maybe something I'm suffering with. So that was written in the letter, and unfortunately what it feels like's happened is that there's been some tunnel vision, and also perhaps there was the suggestion that I needed to know, or I needed like a diagnosis, and perhaps it wasn't communicated that yes, I really do need clarity on my mental health. I feel like it would really just give me back some sanity to know what's going on. But I was also open to different treatments, perhaps not so much medication because of past experiences, and it just feels like all of the main stuff was just lost. It was in the letter that was sent back to the GP in the rejection. It was saying something like, we don't commission just diagnosis only, and they made a suggestion for some sort of therapy for the PTSD, which I'm going to try and look into. It's through a free service with the NHS, but the PTSD it feels like it's a small, I'm not sure if I should say small, but it's just a part of my unwellness I'm feeling right now, and it feels like just a mention of that, everything else was lost in translation or just wasn't expressed. It's probably hard to go into detail because I can't remember a lot of communications with the doctor and exactly how the referral was worded to psychiatry in the NHS. So there was advice given by the doctor to perhaps try again in 3 months. Perhaps there could be varying reasons why the rejection happened. So what I've decided is to, when I do refer myself again, is to try and not almost streamline my mental health in that way, to say it might be this label or that label. It's, I'm going to approach it from, hey, there's all of these symptoms I'm suffering with, and come from the point of view of functionality, of how it encumbers my life, my daily life. For example, there's some real basic stuff where it can be incredibly difficult for me to communicate. There's some sort of like mental dysfunction I can feel, where in this moment I feel a bit more, I can still feel it there a lot. It's just taken a great deal of effort to be clear, a great deal of energy to be clear, than someone who's not dealing with what I'm feeling right now. But quite often there isn't the energy there to try and express, or there isn't the capacity to articulate. It's almost as if the thoughts that come into speech, it has to go through this thick mud to the other side, and a lot of the words and detail is lost, and what comes out, or the only thing I'm able to articulate, is just the bare essence of the point I wanted to make. So for example, if I was to say, I've got this symptom, that symptom, it affects me in this way and that way, it may just come out as the words, I'm feeling very unwell, and obviously it's frustrating, because it almost feels like there's like tape around over my mouth, where I can't fully express myself, and so just that alone, it feels there's something that, whether it's trauma or some sort of mental cognitive disorder, or I can't think of the word, it's not decay, that's a pretty morbid word, the word's not there, but and the expression of emotions, or access to emotions, there's something that's, I can sense in myself that's not right, that there's unwellness there, and all of that's been lost. I feel it's just it feels like it's just it came, all of that got stripped away, wasn't communicated properly in my my communication with the GP, perhaps, and then the GP relaying that to the psychiatrist. So perhaps that's something I'd like to emphasize the next time I do a referral, is perhaps in some way stay away from labels, maybe just list the symptoms, and maybe list examples of how the symptoms affect me. I'm actually putting together a document that has that specifically. I don't know if I've mentioned before. So that's my kind of preparation for my universal credit assessment whenever that comes up. So I'll have the document and the list of symptoms in detail, or as clear as I can make them. Perhaps clear is the better word. And I'm going to try and have a list of examples of where this has affected me. And so I'm trying to look at the news of that rejection in a mindful way, not in a way where it's personal, where they've got something against me, or they're not doing their job properly, or I just feel with the current system, it doesn't allow for nuance, or it doesn't allow for someone to be seen. Because, for example, if a psychiatrist saw me, there's some certainty there that he's going to think, or they are going to think, he or she are going to think, there's lots of stuff going on here, and that, of course, what we've got is paperwork and forms and tick boxes, and that gets missed, and it feels like I've somehow slipped through that, and it plays games with you, because you feel like, oh, perhaps perhaps I'm not worthy of help if I'm not getting the help. Perhaps I'm making a big deal out of this more than it is. And there's these psychological games, not games, just mind games that are extremely disorientating and painful. And again, I can feel it now. There's lots that I want to try and say, but it feels like the way my mind is right now, I don't have access, I don't have the capacity to put these feelings together into words and express them. This is part of the problem. Realizing it's getting quite dark, so perhaps it's a good prompt to end this video shortly. I just wanted to share that news and to perhaps journal about it here. It's not something I've really spoken out loud about too much. I've shared it with a friend and a family member. So as that stands, I'm kind of waiting still for the autism assessment, and I spoke to my counsellor about perhaps re-referring again in a few months, and hopefully perhaps the strain on that department would hopefully be reduced. I'm not sure if, like with Christmas and the surge of COVID, different strains of COVID, that's affected the capacity where they've had to be more stringent in who they accept for treatment and help. So I'm glad I'm able to take a step back from the process a little bit and regather myself, and hopefully not give up on this. At times I felt like giving up a lot, and I probably will in the future. There'll be days where I just won't have the strength to try and help myself and try and go through this process to get my voice heard. But just wanted to share that. Generally speaking, each day at the moment is especially challenging for me, and it's like just a kind of a brief overview. Like, it's really been a struggle for me to get outside. That's just been something that's currently challenging for me. Social anxiety and the sensitivity of noise is really tricky, and the visual sense of busyness and cars and people. So I've managed to have like my noise cancelling headphones. They've been a real help. Although it's been a huge push to get outside, it's been difficult. But today I managed to, even though I didn't want to, it took a lot of strength to get outside. I managed to do it, and I also went to a cafe, which was another challenge in itself, to anticipate the busyness and just a process of going, ordering and finding a place to sit, and all of these small things that are quite big when you are under a lot of mental strain. So I just want to acknowledge that I was able to do that, and I did a little bit of writing there as well, which was good. I had my headphones with me, so that was really, really useful. Then I went for a really short walk in the park, and I'm just going to go out again for a walk, purely to upload this. So this is kind of perhaps helping me get outside and be it's nice to record this. It feels like there's some sort of achievement or progress or productivity that I've done with recording this, and I'll try not to think about it too hard, because I feel like I'll just turn this into a negative. So it's nice just to share and express a little bit of an update of my assessment process through the GP and psychiatry. So, and yeah, it's nice to share a little bit about my day. So it might be really quiet to walk outside at this time. It's just like kind of like dusk. It's just the sun is set and still a bit of light out as well. Not much more in this video. So okay, thanks for listening, and yeah, I'll see you in another video.